What is up everybody, how is it going? Welcome back to World of Tanks and welcome back to my channel, where today I introduce you yet another vehicle that most likely most of you have never ever seen before, or at least I haven't seen this vehicle never ever in action. But today let's take a look what the hell is Kirovets-1 or KRT-1 or Kirovets-1 or however you have to pronounce it. Tier 8 premium heavy tank from Soviet Russia.
What you say? Let's go Rush B. Rush B.
And as you can see already from the screen, for today's episode I had to update my Chinese server, so seems like Chinese server actually doesn't have update 1.0, but why? I believe you already know that by now, maybe, hopefully you know that this Chinese server is not hosted by Wargaming itself, it is hosted by third-party companies, so maybe they were not ready to pay the asked price for update 1.0, maybe, this is one possibility, but anyway, we are able to enjoy a good old pre-update 1.0 World of Tanks. Old maps, old graphics, still HD tanks and so on, so it is nothing too old, like two months ago. Although the update was pretty small that I had to do after my previous Golden Type 59 episode, like 150 megabytes big update. Anyway, Chinese server and Kirovets-1. Of course, if I would like to see something crazy in this game, I have to go into the Chinese server, because Chinese server seems to be kind of a testing ground for World of Tanks, and Kirovets-1 was available over there. I only was able to get my hands on 2 replays that actually worked as well. So today you are going to see 2 battles on the background, played by the players who I am simply not able to read or pronounce out, so I'm simply going to skip that. But Kirovets-1, guys, it is actually not anything new to this game, because this tank has been in the game files for over 2 years. I did some researching, and most likely once again I have to say that you console guys have this vehicle, am I right? Because I saw some gameplay action from the console but nothing from the PC, so I don't know. And was that half a year ago or maybe a little bit less when Wargaming actually did something to this tank on the Supertest server, but after that nothing heard of it. Once again it disappeared. Now, as far as I know, according to my little research section, Kirovets-1 was supposed to be kind of a replacement for the IS-6, for the good old IS-6. IS-6 has special matchmaking, but it was supposed to be a replacement for IS-6 as a regular tier 8 premium heavy tank without any special matchmaking, like a Defender at the moment. A Defender or IS-3A, this vehicle looks super similar to the IS-3A, but the front of the hull is completely flat and no pointy nose like on Defender or on IS-3 or on IS-3A. But more about that armor profile, more about stats a little bit later. So they have released the Defender, 2 versions of Defender, IS-3A, IS-5, they are all super similar tanks to this one as well. So where to put Kirovets-1? I guess it is simply, at the moment, it is simply sitting on the shelves, waiting for good time to come in. They have been testing this tank from 2016. First forum posts, first discussions go back to 2016. So I would say it is only a matter of time. Or maybe, is it too good to be true? Because armor layout, frontal armor layout is actually quite impressive. So let's take a look at the stats actually while you keep enjoying some gameplay action on the background. And as always, let's start with the firepower. 1877 DPM, average damage per minute, with 390 alpha damage and 221mm of penetration. So this tank has that 122mm Russian heavy tank gun, T25 TA gun. 221 penetration, not bad, with standard APCR rounds, and premium heat gives you 270mm. Reload time is 12.47 seconds, which equals 4.81 rounds per minute. Aiming time 2.97 seconds, a lot better aiming time than on Defender, for example, but Defender has better alpha damage. Accuracy 0.43. Alright, this is some turb cannon accuracy over here, 0.43, but it is a Russian accuracy, so we all know what that means. Shell velocity with standard APCR, because of APCR, is really good, 1400 meters per second. On a Tier 8 heavy tank, this is not half bad. Potential damage 11,700 and one shell cost 1,180. And premium shell cost is 5,200. 5,200 is really expensive actually, and you lose a lot of shell velocity as well, from 1,400 to 820, but you gain some extra penetration. And maybe a bit more about gun handling, like gun elevation 18 degrees, gun depression, Russian gun depression -5 degrees, turret traverse 25.03 degrees per second. So yeah, accuracy 0.43, DPM is nothing special, like it is not on the top, but it is average. It is the same with a lot of other Tier 8 premium heavy tanks. The penetration with APCR rounds is awesome. What else? Aiming time under 3 seconds. Okay, aiming time once again, yes, is not something you can brag with, but under 3 seconds at least. So yeah, and shell velocity of course is one huge plus, 1400 meters per second. But mobility 42 kilometers per hour top speed, 20 reverse speed, not bad on a heavy tank. Engine power 720 horsepower engine. This was actually buffed. I remember I saw some files where Wargaming buffed its power to weight ratio, which is 15.16 horsepower per ton now, but it used to be a lot lower, and they buffed its engine power. Tank traverse speed is actually quite bad, 27.11 degrees per second, but terrain resistance numbers 0.96 on hard, 1.05 on medium and 1.92 on soft are not the worst. But now let's talk about the armor. 140 in the front of the hull, 100 on the sides and 60 in the rear of the hull. Turret on paper is not the best, frontally at least. 195, 120 on the sides and 100 in the rear. But let's take a look at the 3D model. In Tier 8 battles, I can say that this tank is going to be extremely strong, or is extremely strong, if it ever makes it into the game. Because the lower plate versus Tier 7s versus some Tier 9s, not Tier 9s, sorry, versus some Tier 8s is actually really good, as we can see, especially if you side scrape with this vehicle. It has that angled upper part. So side scraping under angle like this, for example, you get 220, 230 ricochet over here. Easy ricochet versus any Tier 8 who uses regular ammunition, of course. Upper plate is really strong and side just try to penetrate that. Side is extremely strong and it is extremely good side scraper. Come on, let's angle. Why can I? Anyway, if you side scrape and if you look towards your enemies, your weakest part is going to be over here, which is 200 millimeters thick, but it is just super small. You have to be extremely lucky to hit that part in the first place. All around it is 230, 270. Yeah, you have to be extremely lucky, but if you face hug another Kirovets, you might be able to hit it quite easily, or you can simply shoot the commander edge, which is once again not the biggest target. That is a weak spot, little weak spot, but under angle like this, always go for the upper plate because lower plate is extremely strong, auto ricochet, and yeah, many things that you have to look out when you play against Kirovets, when you ever are going to play against Kirovets. It also comes with 1550 hit points and it is 47.5 tons heavy vehicle with a 51 ton maximum load limit, and it is blind as a bat with a 360 meter view range. Standard Russian view range, I would say, 360 meters, yeah. You are not going to do many spottings on your own. So, all in all, Kirovets-1 compared to the object U52U, for example, or versus IS3A versus WZ111. DPM is not the best, but it is the same or average with a lot of other tier 8 premium heavy tanks. That is all nice and handy. Penetration is also among the better penetrations, not as good as on Defender, but same with IS3A. Damage 390 is super standard in tier 8. Gun handling, yeah, accuracy is not the best, but aiming time is under 3 seconds, which is better than on IS3A once again. What else? Gun depression, fairly regular Russian gun depression, -5 degrees. Mobility is one of the better things. Top speed 42 is respectable, reverse speed 20 is really respectable, and specific power ratio is also the best compared to those guys with 15.16 horsepower per ton. So yeah, Kirovets-1, like any other tier 8 Soviet Russian heavy tank. Only this one looks a bit different, doesn't have that pointy nose. It seems to have upgraded, a little bit upgraded IS-3's turret, but hull is something that you do not see on Soviet heavy tanks, in tier 8 at least. So yeah, Kirovets-1, let me know what you think about this one. Yet another vehicle that maybe most of you have never seen before. At least this goes for me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. As always, if you did, thumbs up button is for that, thumbs down button is for that if you didn't, and subscribe button is for more action, and I get you next time with something else. Much love, take care, and bye.